Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. Wrestling podcast featuring Rom and Bomber and Rab and the one, the only, Peanut. Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio episode number 10.
19?
Well, no, we're going to start over. That's ridiculous. You have to get the number right.
You're the host, Peanut. Good Lord, you know. Hey, you piece of shit, I'm still talking.
What's up? Welcome to Jobber Radio, episode number 19. I'm your host, as always, well, most of the time. And today I'm joined by...
I don't think that was a glitch. I think that was actually him doing that.
That was him.
I was getting the point across. I was trying to get that it was 19.
Just
no,
go with
it wasn't 10. 19.
I think that's the best take.
All right, yeah. Well, today we are joined by... It's been a while. I'm a little rusty, but there it is. There's Bomber. What's up?
What's going on? Yeah, glad to have you back. Kind of, almost. Well, don't let me down anyway. And yeah, looking forward to it.
I'm doing my best. Also joined by Matt Zion. How are you?
Same old shit in the hoodie. I feel like hard times coming down on my homeboys. Just want to give a shout out to Philly and make sure everybody's safe in the hurricane of sliced bread number 2.
Okay, that's the worst intro ever.
Yeah! Woo! I did the worst. That's all I wanted. It's supposed to just be random. I'm doing fine. Same old shit.
To round out this wonderful group, we're joined by Rebecca.
Oh, God. Hey, you piece of shit! I'm still talking. Son of a bitch. It's a stressful time right now. This is December, so this is when we make most of our money
a 1 hour
off of
time
Wreckless
limit,
Eating.
right? We got to do this in 1 hour.
Yeah, but well, you are not helping things along. Let me talk right now. I just did the Roxanne challenge, which is one shot of Four Loko every time they say Roxanne during the song in The Police.
Oh, Jesus.
So still hurting off of that one. Okay, now Peanut, now you can move along. You know, I like Bomber better as our host. Peanut, I don't like you.
Because I have an hour, and this show is gonna be 1 hour. So Rab, how are you?
Well, I bought a new mic. I got all excited. I bought a new mic, and then I realized the room I'm recording this in sounds like a bathroom.
Yes, it does.
So now you can really hear.
If you're taking a shit, it's cool.
Step.
You can really hear the bathroom. So that's nice. It's money well worth it. You can move on.
Peanut, you're the host. You're the host, Peanut. Good Lord, you were so quick to cut me off when I had things to say, and then Rab stops talking, and you just shut the fuck up.
Oh,
God, you're the worst.
We have started off so perfect here. Episode 19, I'm feeling it. All right. So where are we going, Peanut? Where are we going?
Episode with some... we're going to talk about some Batman vs. Superman trailer action. I think Matt Stein has something to say about that.
You're so smooth. God damn it. I suggested, since a lot of us haven't really been keeping up with wrestling, at least I don't think. Okay, so all of us besides Rab have not been keeping up with wrestling.
Yeah, I've been watching pay-per-views and stuff.
Yeah, pay-per-views is literally all I watch. I can't stomach Raw at the moment. It's so bad.
Oh, no, well, you got to do what I do. You got to, right before the podcast, watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it on ×2 speed. I watched it.
Oh, no. It's Rab,
skip all the matches.
I'm going to save you some time, Rab. You go on YouTube and you just watch their match recaps. That's generally speaking how I get through Raw, because I can't do it anymore. And I just don't care about Roman Reigns versus Sheamus at all. Like, it's like Roman Reigns versus a bunch of mid-card jobbers. It's unwatchable right now. Like, it's just so bad. It's so painful that their roster is so thin.
I don't think it's as bad as you're saying. It's been worse.
But like, I don't watch something and I say, well, it's been worse. I want to watch something because it's good, not because it's been worse.
It's not that bad.
It's bad. I can't do it. Especially if it was 2 hours, maybe I could stomach it. But I can't sit through 3 hours of jobbers that are going to get destroyed by Roman Reigns on his way to the title. I can't do it.
Oh, that's why you watch it on times 2 speed. You watch it on speed, and then you skip through the matches. I swear to God, it's what I do.
I just don't watch because I'm usually sleeping. But I watched all the stuff on YouTube. Exactly what Zion's talking about.
Yeah.
So
when you want to come here for your wrestling news, come to this podcast. Come to Java Radio, where we kinda watch.
We didn't talk about the Survivor Series and how
I was right, and how I was right.
It was really bad. It was not a good pay-per-view, and the direction of the company has shifted towards Sheamus.
Okay, I know you're laughing.
I was right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you're right. Being right meant a horrible product. So I know.
That's what I told you 2 weeks ago.
I have a couple questions though. First of all, do you think this shit was planned from the beginning? Do you think that he was gonna, like, even if Seth Rollins is still there, do you think that they would have had Sheamus cash in at Survivor Series?
Supposedly, yeah.
So this was going to go down like no matter what, even if Rollins.
No, I don't think so. I think this was a direct like situation because of Rollins getting hurt. I'm pretty sure that I think Roman was going to win no matter what, but I don't think that they had plans to shoehorn Sheamus in right away. I think maybe the plan would have been on Raw or at maybe the next pay-per-view or something, but I don't think that the plan all along was definitely Sheamus win. I think that got pushed forward because I still think that they would have given him the belt a little bit closer to the movie coming out, because now there's no way in hell he's going to hold that belt until the movie comes out. There's just no way. He's not. Sheamus is like easily the definition of transitional champion. He just has that until they can figure out what they need to do because of the Rollins stuff.
Well, then why just take it off? Why not let Reigns have it though?
Yeah, well, because they have to, for some reason, put the odds stacked against Reigns, and I don't understand how, like, putting a team of mid-carders together is going to be odds for Reigns to overcome. Like, these are all guys that Reigns would slaughter one-on-one, but, like, putting them together, maybe they're a slight inconvenience for him, but I wouldn't be shocked if Reigns wins the title at the pay-per-view. They would not.
That would be a
shocked
waste of fucking time.
Well, I mean, it's like when Edge won, though. Remember, Edge won, and then he had one pay-per-view against Cena, and he lost. So, I mean, like, it's they just needed something. Like, they just needed something to do while they scrambled and figured out what's happening. Because, like, apparently the big rumor from Meltzer was that Mania has been completely scrapped. They do all their previous plans are completely out the window, and they're rethinking all the main events that they want to do now, which I didn't know Rollins was that important, but apparently he really was. So I don't know what they're going to do.
I mean, sorry, I'll let you go.
Well, okay. I just wanted to say real quick. I mean, yes, you have but Sheamus isn't really a mid-carder. I mean, he should be, but he should be.
No, I don't.
He's a 4-time champion.
Yeah, but he was years ago. They haven't treated, like, when he won the belts, then I would agree with you. They were pushing him as a main event guy. But since he came back from his injury, he has been the definition of mid-card heel. He's just mid-card. Like, everything about him screams mid-card. I really like Sheamus, by the way. I'm not trying to, maybe it sounds like negative. I just, like, if they had built him into this spot, like, okay, like, one example I would say, if they had given him kind of a Brock Lesnar type push before winning the title, it's just nobody beats him. He's a monster, which is what he was back in the day. Like, he was that kind of character. Then I could have bought it. So, like, if old Sheamus had come back from his injury, I would have bought it. But this guy has been losing to, like, everyone, and it just made him look like shit.
Well, that's because he has the Money in the Bank, and that's the rule of the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but that's not an excuse.
No, I don't say it's an excuse. But my point is, Sheamus has been on the covers of all the programs and in commercials and all that. He's not Alberto Del Rio. He's not Rusev. Yeah, he's not the other guys that he's with. He's not Wade Barrett.
He's a company guy, and he has a really good look. So that's why
I do like his look. He's unique.
Yeah, they use him on a lot of covers, and like you said, like, just a lot of promotional stuff. They use him all the time because when somebody sees Sheamus, you know it's Sheamus. Like, there's no one that looks like him in the world. He immediately is unique, but he's still just a mid-card guy. I mean, at best, I'd say upper mid-card, but like, just all of a sudden go from jobbing to a bunch of nobodies to all of a sudden being like the main event heel angle. Ugh, it's just boring, and It
Well.
just screams they didn't know what to do, and when Rollins got hurt, they had no fucking backup plan, and they were like, well, Sheamus has the money in the bank, so I guess we'll just do that instead of doing something interesting like turning Reigns heel or turning Ambrose heel or trying to bring up maybe like Kevin Owens, trying to do something fun, because this is not fun. I just have no emotional investment in Sheamus as champion whatsoever. I don't want to see him lose. I don't want to see him win. I just don't want to see him.
Would you rather see him champion than Roman Reigns?
I would rather have Reigns right now, because I actually think, even though, we talked about wanting like a Reigns heel turn, but if they gave me a choice between a face Roman with the belt versus a face Sheamus with the belt, I would just give Reigns a run, because at least get it out of WWE's system. Because like he's their guy right now. Get it out of their system. Give him a 6-month reign, whatever the hell it's going to take, and get it done with. But instead, we're prolonging it because it's coming. He's gonna win. He's gonna have a title reign. Let's just get it the fuck over with now. But instead, we're gonna drag it out. He's gonna feud with a bunch of nobodies, and that'll be it. And it's boring.
I feel like they were kind of. They didn't give him a run, but I felt like they were kind of just giving him. They did give him the belt for like 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Or
they blew off like the big good feel moment too, which is really dumb. Because like now when he wins it again, it's not going to mean as much as that first time. So now he's
that was really stupid.
It was really dumb. Like if anything, they should have done this to Ambrose. I mean, they didn't want it to trickle down though and to hurt Reigns, but like they gave away the big moment now. So that's it.
But they couldn't do an Ambrose versus Sheamus right now. That wouldn't be.
Yeah, they could. Because they could keep Reigns away from the title for a little bit longer and keep him away from Sheamus. Like instead of, he's just going to beat Sheamus. I mean, he's going to beat him so hard because Sheamus is such a jobber compared to Reigns.
Do you think Reigns is going to get the belt before WrestleMania?
Yeah, I think so. I think I think that Sheamus was like they were planning on giving him the belt, but now they had nothing else. They couldn't come up with anything else creative. Like you're telling me, with the 80-plus wrestlers on your roster, you couldn't think of anything better. Even one person pitched having an NXT invasion. And it was like, I didn't hear a lot of people talking about it. They were saying, like, have one of the NXT guys come out and Triple H, like, ransom a title match after the tournament. And just have, like, a huge NXT invasion angle on it. Like, at least that would get people talking. No one was talking positively about Sheamus winning the belt.
I watched it and I didn't feel as bad as everybody else did when I watched it. I mean, I felt like it was done the same way every other Money in the Bank was done. I mean, it was done relatively well, but I don't know. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world having Sheamus as the champion. I prefer him over Reigns right now, but just leading to hopefully Reigns getting a really big run at the end, because I felt that tournament was so rushed. It didn't feel like this was really Reigns. This was going to be his big moment. It didn't feel like that to me. Like the match, I think it was mainly due to like the crowd sucking dick, but the match didn't feel like that great at all between him and Ambrose. Like the ending just came out of nowhere. It's like, wow,
yeah,
that's over.
I didn't like it either. I mean, I didn't hate the match, but it felt like it had like another 10 minutes in it, because it like they were just starting to turn it up. And I was like, okay, this could actually be really good. And I was actually getting invested, and then he just speared him and pinned him, and I was like, oh. Well, okay. And then the whole Sheamus thing ends, and they still had like 15 minutes of showtime. So I think maybe they just didn't time it right at all. Because match should have had time.
They often cut the pay-per-views short these days.
Which is dumb because they own the network.
That's funny.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean,
wait, so you're telling me Raw goes on longer than the pay-per-views?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, it does.
That's awesome.
Yeah. A bunch. Yeah. Raw goes like 30 minutes longer than the pay-per-views.
Yeah, which is really frustrating. I just don't want a mid-card guy as my champion.
He's not a mid.
You guys don't
upper card guy. He's an upper.
Yeah,
card
but
guy.
If they were okay. Here's the example I give. If they were going to give the title to Sheamus, who in my opinion he's not bad. I mean, I'm actually a really big Sheamus fan. I like his style of wrestling. I like his character. His music's awesome. His appeal to me is great. But not as a main event guy because of the way they treated him. It's not his fault. It's their fault. Because for a long time, I thought he was a main event guy, but they fucked up. When they turned him face and they tried to make him funny and turned him into a John Cena clone, he sucked. And that was it. And after that, I've never really respected him since then. But if I had to choose between them evaluating Kevin Owens and making him into something, especially with the reactions he's getting and the amount of fans that are starting to get behind him, and really make a new star over giving it to Sheamus, who in my opinion just feels stale. Give it to someone new. Like it's like they're beating a dead horse saying, hey, remember Sheamus? Remember Sheamus used to be a champion three times, so now let's give it to him. You give it to fucking Kevin Owens. I mean, even Alberto. I don't like Alberto, but
no, definitely not Alberto. No,
I don't.
No.
Give it to Alberto Del Rio.
I'd rather see Rusev champion than fucking Del Rio.
Anybody but Sheamus.
I like Rusev.
Just bring up someone else. I love Rusev, but bring up. This was Owens' time. If they really wanted to try and build new stars, because now they're complaining that they don't have new stars. Well, there you go. You just fucked over Owens, who is getting great reactions, and I think could have had a nice little quick run with the title until they figured out what they needed to do.
Was Owens even on Raw? I don't think he was.
No, they said he was sick or something. Like the rumor was he was like really ill with a flu or something. So they sent him home to get better.
Honestly, I kind of agree with Bomber. I think Sheamus in the end is better to have as champion right now than Roman Reigns.
I mean, what are your thoughts on Roman Reigns going back and winning the Royal Rumble in 2 months?
Oh no, they can't do that.
You sure?
I guarantee they're going to do it now, 100%. Yeah, he's going to do it. If
Wait,
he doesn't,
I thought you said he was going to have the title before WrestleMania.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he doesn't beat Sheamus for the title, he's going to do it. But I have a feeling that even if he beats Sheamus for the title, they're going to pull some more Daniel Bryan bullshit. Because remember, Bryan won he beat Orton. Remember how he got screwed out of it, then he beat Orton, and then they stripped him? They are doing a carbon copy of the Daniel Bryan storyline because they think the storyline is what got Bryan over, not the fact that he was over. So I guarantee, even if he beats Sheamus, Triple H is going to do some fuckery to get the title off of him. And then, because this is all building to Roman having to win the Rumble again and overcome the odds. And they seem to think that is what will get Roman over, when really, I think the only thing that could get Roman over is his cool factor. He's a very cool guy when he gets in the ring. I like he doesn't give a shit attitude. So when he gets in the ring and he's quiet, but you can tell he doesn't give a shit.
He's hearing voices?
Yeah, he's just going to kick some ass. I like that about Roman. But the moment they have him open his mouth and they try to make him into sympathetic, I don't like that Roman at all, and that's what they're aiming for. They want sympathy on him. Ugh.
What's funny is I was thinking he was a little too cool guy on Raw. I mean, they had this whole thing where he jumps Sheamus, right? Which I've always had this problem with faces jumping heels, but whatever, it's not important. But he jumps Sheamus, and then he's just all happy-go-lucky. Oh, look at my smirk. I'm holding this belt. I have to hand it back, but I'm so cool that just holding this belt after jumping that guy from behind when he wasn't looking makes me awesome. I don't know. That shit annoys the fuck out of me.
Money in the Bank is done. I am so done. Yeah. It's been played out. I mean, I would say 3 years ago it was done, and they just, if they found a way, so I felt like the first couple of years they were putting effort into either making it a surprise or changing it up, like RVD. I loved RVD's cash-in. I thought that was almost the perfect way to do it.
Easily the best.
Yeah, I loved it. And at least besides the very first one because of the shock value of it. But I liked Punk's cash-in because it was a guy now that's the way to do it, where a guy isn't a main event guy, but he wins and it still makes sense. But now it's just every cash-in is the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. Same thing. It's all predictable. You know when it's coming, and it's so boring. And then it disrespects the title. Before it disrespected the title, but at least it was fun. Now it disrespects the title, and it's just boring and predictable. They need to drop Money in the Bank, or at the very least, make it a specialized thing that only happens maybe every couple of years, because it's so played out. But I mean, a lot of their gimmicks are played out.
I think the biggest problem is that they moved it from WrestleMania. So now it's in what, June, July? So you're really halfway through the year. Then the guy gets the belt. No one cashes in it immediately, well, except Kane that one time. But in general, no one really cashes it in immediately. You have it for a few months. Next thing you know, they cash it in right around December. Mm-hmm.
But the problem with Mania was it was becoming too I can't even recall differences in the Money in the Bank matches, because they were all fun. I like them, but I can't tell you for the life of me what was the difference between one and the other one besides the guys who won. They were all blending together. So I think it was actually kind of a smart idea to temporarily turn it into a pay-per-view. But I think as a whole, Money in the Bank is just dead. I mean, it's just not a viable thing for them anymore. If anything, it's just a get out of jail free card. It's exactly how they used it with Sheamus.
It also kind of worked better when it was one Money in the Bank for 2 belts. Because at least you could be, he might cash it in on this guy, he might cash it on that guy.
Yeah, when they could switch shows and stuff.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying.
I just don't like Sheamus as champion, and I'm just bored with them.
I mean, I don't really like him either, but I think he's their best bet right now. Besides, going with Kevin Owens, but they weren't going to go with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, it's too early for Owens.
Yeah,
my opinion.
But it wasn't too early for Sheamus.
For them, it is.
The first time. So I don't understand that.
I thought it was, but
I thought it was definitely way too early for Sheamus when they first gave him the belt.
I didn't, because I like
squash Cena.
No, but yeah, exactly. Well, he didn't squash him. They protected him. It was the table finished. It was Cena basically screwed himself.
Yeah.
But I like it when they try to give the belt to somebody very fresh, that it might feel like it's too early. Because worst case scenario, you swap it back. But it gives them credibility instantly when they show up. So if it's done right, I thought Sheamus as champion was great when he first came in, because it made him credible right away. Mm-hmm. But I hate that they have this roster full of so many awesome guys, and they go with Sheamus to be the lead character heel in their company.
They have a lot of awesome guys, but they don't have enough main event guys, really.
Yeah, well, that's their fucking fault. Because I can tell you 20 guys right now that could be.
That's not all their fault. Because all of a sudden, a 3-time champion, 4-time you call the world heavyweight champion, becomes champion. You go, that guy's a mid-carder.
Yeah, because of the way they treated him. It's their fucking fault. I used to respect him, and I would have said he'd be a great guy to keep in the main event scene, but they treated him like a mid-card joke. He's losing to people who were even under the mid-card, in the lower card. That's their fucking fault. Like, they are the reason that they're in the trouble that they're in, because they don't respect the talent that they have. It's like, unless you're Cena or unless you're in like the top maybe 3 or 4 guys, they just don't really care about anyone. Like, they don't protect anybody anymore. When they protected Rusev for like over a year, that was awesome. Mm-hmm. Because it actually showed that they could do long-term booking with somebody. It sucked that he lost to Cena, but hey, at least he lost to him at Mania, where it mattered. Mm-hmm. It's just they don't protect people, and then they're surprised when the internet basically backlashed on the Sheamus decision, because he's just not seen as a main event guy anymore. And if they had kept him protected, then I don't think anybody would have cared as much about him. Because I don't think people hate Sheamus. I think that they just don't like the way WWE has booked him for the past year.
Sheamus is the most main event guy up there right now, besides Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, I guess. But Dean Ambrose is kind of an upper mid-carder too.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem.
Besides Brock Lesnar showing back up, there really was no one else to give the belt to, as far as someone who's a main eventer.
But again, whose fault is that other than WWE? Because they're the ones that told you for the past 2 years that only Cena and Lesnar are the 2 credible face main event talents, and they're still shoving Reigns down everybody's throat when half the crowd doesn't even respect them. So it's their fault. They've booked these people, everyone on their roster, to look like crap. Like, Owens was made into a star overnight, right? Like, everybody, when he beat Cena, that was an amazing move. I really enjoyed that. Again, it gave him instant credibility. He was getting great reactions from the fans. They really liked him. And then they squandered it. And he's just now starting to kind of get back some of that credibility that he had before, just because he's such a talented, bigger wrestler. But it's their fault. I mean, and then they get upset when people don't get behind a Roman Reigns or a Sheamus, but they're the reason why people aren't getting behind a Sheamus or a Roman Reigns, because, like, as we've said on the past 2 podcasts, they could have easily had Reigns over if they had done it right, but they basically did like a how to not get somebody over and make everybody hate him tutorial. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's their fault. And I'm like, anybody who says, well, you just don't like Sheamus, so that's why. It's like, no, Sheamus is great. I mean, like, one of my favorite Sheamus matches, which is, I don't think a lot of people even remember it, was when, was it Tensai? Yeah, Tensai, when he kind of flopped and they had a series of matches on SmackDown. Amazing. They just killed each other. I was like, wow, that's some of my favorite Sheamus matches. But I just don't respect him as champion, and there's so many guys that they could bring up and just do more with. And I've been watching for more than 10 years now, and this is easily the worst creative point of the company I have ever seen. And I'm comparing that to the Alliance.
No.
I'm comparing that to the Alliance.
I'm convinced that the worst spot was between 2003 and 2005.
So yeah, the like basically when the Alliance killed it, and then they were trying to come back, but it was
the
very
Alliance was in
difficult.
2001.
Yeah.
2003
Yeah,
had,
it
you know,
led-
it was like, oh, it's Big Papa Pump. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I agree.
Anything when Triple H was like riding really high, that was
Yeah.
the worst creative point of, you know, the
Yeah, I
WWE.
mean, it was,
We're worlds better than that right now. I'm sorry.
I don't know though.
I wouldn't say worlds
so
better.
here's the difference though. Here's the
Worlds
difference.
better.
The difference
Oh,
is though is that
we did have SmackDown with Paul Heyman running SmackDown. That was nice.
the difference I think though between that period and now is back then they were still trying to take care of certain guys in the mid card that they saw as future main event guys. But like now, name somebody in the mid card that they are protecting for a main event run. I can't name one person.
That they're protecting.
They just everybody's cannon fodder at this point. There's nobody I see getting all like being protected to get a push into the main event roster. Not one per. I can't name one guy.
Owens?
No, but he's not being protected at all. He just jobbed out to Reigns and Ambrose.
Well,
Like
He didn't
That was-
job out
he
to
didn't
Reigns.
job.
He lost to
no,
Ambrose.
no,
He
but
lost
see,
to-
like, it was a cool,
I-
move, but he did.
I disagree.
He lost.
He losing
He didn't-
and
Jobbing
jobbing
out, yeah,
out
that's
are not the
different,
same
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that's different.
It's still I don't see him as
So
credible.
no one can lose. Everyone should just be fighting local talent. You know, every like it was, you know, Raw in 1993 and stuff.
Well, like I'm saying, on the end of that Fatal 4-Way where he lost to Reigns, it was a really cool moment when he's like, "Come on, get in here, like let's do this." But Reigns pretty much squashed him once he got in. He didn't really do anything to Roman. Like he just lost. Would have been nice to have had maybe a 2-3 minute interaction between the two before Reigns beat him. But like this is what I'm saying is that yeah, it was a cool moment, and I thought he looked cool in the eyes of the fans, but he wasn't protected in that sense because he stood up against Roman, and then he just went down against Roman.
He wasn't hurt at all. I mean, I think Kevin Owens is being protected. I don't agree with you.
I just don't agree. I don't see him if he transitioned. They'd have to do something big. He'd have to be some big moment to get him over. And I don't feel like if he just won the title out of nowhere, people would respect him as champion at this point because they haven't really protected him too much. I mean, I give it to you that he's protected probably the most out of all the mid card guys on the roster. But compared to back in the day, it's still not much. I think Rusev was probably the last guy that was a mid card talent that they brought up and they severely protected. But then the end goal was just to lose to Cena, so only Cena really got the rub from it.
I don't know. I think you also have to take into consideration like all of their top guys are hurt right now. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. Like you got Orton out, you got Cena out, you got Rollins out now. I don't know where the fuck Brock Lesnar is. I know he's not hurt, but he's just out. So that's also gotta hurt when they're trying to book everything. All their top dudes are out.
The issue there, though, is Rollins. I'll give it to you. Rollins is 100% because I think Rollins was one of the guys, even though they treated his character like crap lately. Yeah, I'll give it to you. That sucks that he goes out. But the fact that in 2015 they're relying on John Cena, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, and The Undertaker to make sure that their shows can draw and sell is fucking ridiculous. 10 years ago, those are the exact same people that they were relying to get their shows.
You missed Triple H. You missed Triple H.
Yeah, well, no, but not really though. I don't count him because he doesn't wrestle that much anymore. I don't.
You
I don't.
know
think
what? I had this thought going through my head. I know you guys are gonna fucking hate it because you don't like
most of
Triple
your
H.
thoughts?
Yes, exactly. Like every single one of them, not most of them, every single one of them. But I was thinking that Triple H should come back and take over right now. Like as champion.
Just go fuck yourself.
I agree with you. They are so starved for talent because of how they booked everyone. Yeah, I think they should give him the title, make him the #1 heel, and have him roll with it because he
doesn't have to fight all the time because Brock didn't fight all the time. He's on every show.
I will stop watching. And I don't mean forever. I will never stop watching forever.
I'm with you, Palmer.
But for sure, if he wins Triple H is the champion now, I will get on this podcast and he'll be like, "Oh, what do you think?" I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't watch on fucking Raw because I don't want to see Triple H come out talk for 15 minutes about how he's the champion." Triple H on top. Nothing has pained me more in my wrestling life, in my life of wrestling fandom, than Triple H on top, starting every Raw, talking for 15 minutes.
Okay, but see, you're biased on it then. You just don't like Triple H.
Yeah.
So
no, I
can't
love Triple H. I think he's awful when he's like the guy who runs when he's the guy on top and he's the guy, the candle holder or the torch holder. That's the word. The torch holder for the fucking thing. I have Triple H fucking t-shirts, sitting back there. I like Triple H, but I just think when Triple H is the champion, they make him too overpowering. It's impossible to beat him. It's just annoying. I think it's just bad. It's bad television. I think it's bad television when he's on top.
I'd rather have an overpowered top heel in the company than someone like a Rollins or Sheamus that is just going to be jobbed out every single week.
It's not a good overpowering. It's not Brock Lesnar overpowering, coming on destroying people. It's just, well, he can't lose. He just can't. I agree. It's annoying.
When was his run? His World Heavyweight Title run with Ric Flair? That was like one of the worst runs I've ever seen.
07, 08, something like that.
Yeah, that was awful. That was like where when they had a chance to make Booker T into someone really special, and he called him a racist. He basically said like, I'm racist and I'm gonna beat you, and then he beat him. And then like they had a chance to like really evaluate RVD again. And then he's like, you smoke a lot of weed, you're useless, and I'm gonna beat you. And then he beat him. And he
that was what I was talking about earlier. That was from like 2002 to I think 2003 was the year with Booker T.
Oh, you know
at WrestleMania.
There you go.
Yeah, that was from like 2002 to like 2005. It's when I thought Raw was the worst.
It was really bad because there was no direction. The direction was, how can we continue to make Triple H win matches? I agree, that was really bad. But at this point, they have nothing, and they've built no one, and they continue to not want to build anybody, really. They're just content with throwing a mid-card guy in and then having him potentially just get slaughtered by Reigns. So I might as well just throw Triple H back in the mix. I'm with Bomber. I think at this point that would have probably been a better decision. Like, I would have actually legitimately been shocked when Triple H came out, if he like pedigreed Reigns and then took off his shirt, had the referee come out, and he just had himself win the title. I think it would have made a lot more people
cool.
happy.
It would have been shocking. Yeah. I would have not watched.
I like how everybody was saying everyone is shocked that Sheamus is now the champion. Like, it was like, really? Okay.
Yeah. Everybody apparently didn't listen to Java Radio.
They are missing out.
The moment this music hit, I knew he was winning. Like Triple H. The moment Triple H came out, I knew he was winning. That was it.
And the thing is, I do want to talk about that fucking crowd for a minute.
It was awful.
Yeah,
it was awful.
Oh, they were garbage.
Yeah, it was terrible. One of the worst crowds I've ever heard.
During the Taker match, there was a part where he was trying to get the hot tag, trying to get Kane to come over, and he started pounding on the top rope, trying to get the crowd. Absolutely nothing. So he walks down onto the steel steps and starts stomping on the steel steps. Still nothing. It was embarrassing. He was trying to do everything he could to get people to start cheering, and nothing.
A big reaction match too. Like, that was probably the biggest reaction out of all the matches, was that one.
Well, no, you don't remember how incredibly over Kevin Owens was there?
Yeah, no, I mean, he got a reaction. I'd say probably Owens. No, he got a reaction. I mean, like, people. So here's the difference between Owens and everybody. Like, most of the other people that came out. Like, at least when his music hit, there was a pop, a slight. So I guess it would be more like a quiet saunter. But like some of those matches, like my favorite match was Ziggler versus. God damn it! Why am I?
Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, Breeze. I really enjoyed that match. I thought that they had a really fun match. You could have literally thought that everybody was looking down at their phones during that match. There was no reaction. Even when Ziggler came out, there was no pop. It was bizarro world that night. It was not good.
It was a bizarro. That's how it goes in the South, man.
Yeah, they just didn't give a shit. And if Taker can't get them going, no one can.
That's how it goes in the South, bro.
No, it don't go like that in the South.
That's how it goes in the South. I'm sorry.
No, you come to Charlotte, it's not going to be like that.
If Ric Flair's there.
No, I mean, well, of course you're going to get a lot of woos, but
yeah,
there's still a divide in the kind of wrestling between what they're still kind of used to in the South and what WWE produces, and I think that's one of the reasons. I don't mean like, oh, they hate wrestling in the South and they're terrible fans. No. You just get a different kind of reaction because they're still kind of into a different kind of wrestling in the South.
Yeah, it was almost like a Japanese crowd where everybody's dead silent, except they didn't like cheer.
Pay attention. They didn't pay attention at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Ambrose probably got the biggest reaction, but it wasn't much of anything compared to what he should have got.
They also ruined Charlotte and Paige.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't like that match though.
You know what the problem is,
and
I've noticed this before. The problem is, and I've noticed this before with the girls that come out of NXT, when they wrestle in front of people not paying attention, they don't know what to do.
It does. You're right. It falls apart.
It seems like they don't know what. I don't know what it is, but that's what happens. I don't know why, but when they go from NXT, where like everyone's really cheering, they really like the women's wrestling in NXT, and then they go to Raw or they go some random place where no one's paying attention. The NXT girls just fall apart.
Well, they're also making the mistake of pushing the wrong chick as champion as well. I mean, Sasha should really be the one that's getting the push. I mean, just the simple fact that they're chanting for her like during Charlotte matches. I like Charlotte. I think Charlotte's fine. I think she's actually pretty damn good. But Sasha, it's like they have money written on the wall in form of Sasha Banks, and they'll put her on Raw, but they're not like making her the focal point. It's kind of
I actually think that's not a bad idea right now. Just let her build up for a little bit. We're in fucking December. It doesn't matter who's champion right now. It really doesn't matter what you're doing with it all.
But sometimes crowds can cool off though. That's the issue. Like you might be right.
But
you might be right, but they could cool off too.
Come January, February, that's a good time to start pushing Sasha. So I think it's not a bad idea with the way they're doing it, because they're still putting her up front. She's still on Raw every week. She's winning matches. She's the focal point of whatever that little bad crew is. She's still there. It's not like she's standing behind Santino or some shit.
I just think it's 50-50. It could help her because it could make maybe people want her to have. That's kind of the Daniel Bryan situation. They're not giving them what they want, so it'll make them like her just on a much smaller scale. But I've seen it so many times where it's like, they say the phrase like pull the trigger on somebody. There's so many times where somebody's just, they're ready for them. They're hot. It could blow up if they just push them, pull the trigger. And this could be like if they don't pull the trigger and then they do it later, like 5 months from now, and people don't care. So,
well, I don't think we're there with Sasha though.
I think she could be the one that actually makes people care about women's wrestling.
I think they could be too. I think she could be too. She's fantastic.
I don't think
but I don't think they're behind her like that yet.
I think they will be though. I just don't think Charlotte was the right choice. I think Charlotte's kind of been a fart so far. Unfortunately, I like her, but she doesn't seem to wrestle the Raw chicks very well. Unless it's an NXT person, she just kind of flounders against actual Raw talent that was already there, which I don't know whose fault that is, but it's I haven't really cared about her matches too much.
Yeah, I understand. I don't disagree with you there. Her matches haven't been particularly great on Raw.
No, not really. Hey, Peanut, what do you think about this?
I think it's a great move to have Sasha, hold out and then pull the trigger. I actually was about to butt in, to be honest.
Oh, okay, good.
And start touching on other things non-wrestling. Oh, not wrestling related, because I have no idea what you guys are talking about. So,
God, you're on a wrestling podcast.
Right?
Oh, okay. What do we want to talk about, Peanut?
That's what this is. Well, I remember when we started when we were talking about redoing the podcast. Sorry, I was trying to talk.
God damn! I'm so happy you're back.
Peanut's the worst.
Okay, continue.
No, but seriously, has anyone seen Jessica Jones on Netflix? That's
yeah. Okay, so let's
series.
teach the spoilers.
And the pod has come to a screeching halt.
No, I have.
I have too. It's great, but it's also like, can we just change entire direct? Can you imagine if you were watching Jessica Jones and halfway through they were like, you know what I really like? How I Met Your Mother, and then all of a sudden it was How I Met Your Mother. That'd be very strange, and that's what just happened on this podcast.
Totally
good
about Jessica Jones though, because it's really good.
I've never seen it. I haven't seen it.
Okay, did you see? How many people here have seen Daredevil on Netflix?
I've seen the first episode.
I watch. I've seen all the Marvel stuff. Actually, I watch all the superhero stuff. So
okay, so you have seen it. Okay.
Yeah.
You fucked up, Bomber. Go back and watch episode 2.
Okay.
Of Daredevil,
watch episode 1 and then watch episode 2.
I've seen episode 1.
2. Episode 2 is the one that hooks though. It has one of the best fight scenes on television I have ever seen in my life.
Ever, huh?
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
Go ahead.
It's incredible. I was actually just rewatching after watching Jessica Jones. I started rewatching Daredevil, and I got to that fight scene, and it's absolutely the best I've ever seen on television, and maybe even in film. I mean, it's what you want a fight scene to be.
Wait, which one is it?
The hallway
fight scene in the hallway.
Blank.
Little boy or little girl, whatever it was.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Don't spoil it.
You guys
We're
are
trying to get this
out.
guy to watch it.
No, I mean, it
not
doesn't spoil
out.
anything. Daredevil just goes to rescue somebody, and it's fucking awesome. And
No,
I wasn't hooked on episode 1, but 2 was what caught me. But Jessica Jones, I'm on. We just finished episode 5, so we're almost halfway through, and I really like it. It's a much different tempo than Daredevil, but I think that's a good thing because you don't want all of the Netflix superhero shows to be the same carbon copy. I like the villain is amazing so far. I love because so this villain his name is Kilgrave, and I was never a Jessica Jones fan of comic books, even though I read Marvel like crazy, but I don't remember her. But his power is it's like mind control, but it actually has to do with what is it, Rab? It's like endorphins or something he gives out, but he can tell you to do something.
It's like a virus or something. Yeah, like he's actually sick.
Yeah,
and that's actually what he's infecting you with.
Yeah, it's great because the setup is she has powers. She tried to be a superhero.
Oh, by the way, if anyone's listening and is going to watch Jessica Jones and doesn't want this spoiled for you,
it's not spoiled. This is the setup of the series.
It's not. You don't find out it's a virus until like 5 episodes in.
Oh wow! So it's a virus.
It doesn't matter. Right? Who cares if it's a virus?
It does matter.
Either way, he just tells you to do something.
No, it completely matters.
So you're telling me it's a virus?
Well, no, just listen to the setup. So the setup is she's a hero. She tries to, or at least tries to be a hero because she has like super strength and she can jump really high and stuff. And he casually, basically, just finds her and forces her to be his just slave. I mean, overall, that's exactly what it is. She does everything he wants, and she has nothing. She gets away from him. So the story is them kind of her basically tormenting him, and she tries to take him down. That's the whole story of the first season. And I'm only on 5 so far, but goddamn, it's good. I love the character development. They actually take time, like Daredevil, to really make you care about people. It doesn't seem like it's a DC movie where they just throw shit in and go care about it. They're building her, and I like her character a lot. I like the inclusion of Luke Cage, which I never liked Luke Cage in the comics.
The Rock? Isn't The Rock going to be Luke Cage?
No.
What?
No, The Rock is not Luke Cage.
No. I heard he was going to be Luke Cage in a movie or whatever.
No, he's actually going to be in the Green Lantern movie. He's going to be. The rumor is that he's not going to be Green Lantern. He's going to be the villain in the Green Lantern movie.
Oh. I swear to God, I heard that.
No, Shazam. That's right. No, you're right. I think I fucked up. It's Shazam, isn't it? He's the villain. He's the villain in the Shazam movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who he's signed on to be.
Yeah, he's in. Oh, is he the villain? I thought he was Shazam.
No, he's going to be the villain.
I want to see someone Shazam.
Yeah. No, I think he's going to be the villain.
Yeah, he's a villain. Black Adam, I think is what he's called.
Okay.
But it's
gotcha.
really solid.
That's it, I think.
And I'm also happy that the Punisher is going to be getting a focal point on the Netflix series soon.
Yeah, it's the Walking Dead dude, right? Shane.
Yeah, great choice. Great choice.
Is he good?
Well, it hasn't started yet.
Oh, he hasn't showed up yet. Okay.
He's going to make an appearance in Daredevil season 2, and then they're going to work on giving him either a movie on Netflix or giving him his own series.
That's cool.
So I'm pretty happy about it. But Rab, so without spoiling past episode 5 for me, how do you like the series overall? You really like it?
Oh, it was great. I mean, I watched it all on that first Saturday after it came out. I was busy on that Friday. Yeah, it was fantastic. I enjoyed it a lot. Like you said, the pace is very different from Daredevil, but it makes it feel like it's not just Daredevil with someone else. It makes it feel like this is Jessica Jones. And I like the way they do that. And even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. feels different, and that's all Marvel. It's made by the same guys, Marvel, Entertainment or whatever, Marvel television. But all the shows feel different, and I really like that. And apparently, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, apparently they're going to make 2 more shows, and one of them is going to be like a sitcom. Like they're just going to put all these shows in the Marvel universe that just touch on different things, and I really like that.
Yeah, that sounds good. They're doing Iron Fist. It's Luke Cage is next, and he said in an interview that it's going to be a significantly different feel once again because it's not going to be like Jessica Jones. It's going to be different, which I believe them now after seeing the 2 different shows. Then Iron Fist Then they're going to do the Defenders movie on Netflix. And then they'll go back to doing the next seasons. I think Daredevil's going to get a season though before.
This doesn't sound like too much to you guys.
No, I love it. If you watch Jessica Jones and Daredevil, you'd love it too. It's the perfect amount because the Netflix stuff is, even though it's in the same continuity as the Marvel movies, they don't hammer it home. They're more like references. So like they'll kind of talk about the alien invasion as what do they call it, Rab? I can't remember. Is it like the incident or
the incident, the event?
Yeah, they don't go in talking about aliens and whatnot. Like with Jessica Jones in particular, one of the things I find interesting is they kind of show you not just the positive side, but they show you the negative side of people not really trusting superheroes just because of the destruction that they've brought. So you kind of see the negative side of it. When like in the Marvel movies, they talk about it, but they don't really show it. And this is you actually seeing the direct response of superheroes being there, because you know how it would be. I mean, that's realistic. Half the people would love them. Half the people would say they're a nuisance and they shouldn't be around and they're more trouble than they're worth. So I don't think it's too much because Netflix, one only comes out like it's like 4 months or 5 months or whatever. So they're not doing too much.
Well, there's also Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I don't watch that though. I tried and I didn't like it.
That's because the first season isn't that good. Starting
like
episode 9 in the first season, it gets really good. Season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is incredible.
Okay, so that's when they started. Well, spoilers for anybody, but I know I follow it. I just don't watch it. But I know that they're starting to include the Inhumans in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's good.
That's what's happening in season 2. Well, really, once you hit like Winter Soldier, is when S.H.I.E.L.D. starts getting really, really good.
Good,
because they do tie it in with the movie, so
Yeah. The first
the episode after a movie comes out. You always get something that touches on the movie. So after Winter Soldier, there was a lot with Winter Soldier. After Thor, there was a lot with Thor. Leading up to the last Avengers movie, they kind of like threw it at the Avengers. But it's good.
Yeah. I guess we can use that as a segue, though. What do you guys think of the Civil War trailer?
Oh, that's what trailers should be. Superman is what trailers should not be.
I always thought that was great.
I caught a lot of shit already about this, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. It looked like it was way too much like talking and not that much going on.
Oh man, I disagree so hard.
I disagree. I know. I already talked about this before with some of my friends, and I totally got shit on. But I don't know. Man, I don't know. First of all, I'm not the biggest superhero fan.
Okay.
I like Batman and stuff. I haven't seen the Winter Soldier. I didn't know any of the dudes in that trailer, like the guy he was talking to at the beginning and the guy with the wings.
That's because you didn't watch Winter Soldier.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't watch
it. Oh my god. Okay, so you're like a general public audience member seeing the trailer instead of somebody that, like me and Rab, know a lot about comic books, I assume. So like when I see things, I know right away usually what it is. But you would be like a casual person seeing the trailer.
Exactly. And okay. I was introduced to the story through Ultimate Marvel Alliance on 360. I don't know if you guys ever played the game, but it was fucking amazing. And you go through the whole Civil War story, and it was cool. I did like the story in the game and everything, so I kind of understand. I know it's going to be Iron Man versus Captain America, and they're going to have like each of them have their teams, I guess you can say, almost, and battling it out. So I am looking forward to that. But the trailer just looked, I don't know, it looked like it was too talky. There wasn't enough. When you think of a superhero movie, you think, okay, there's going to be some crazy shit the whole time. It just, I don't know. It looked a little tame compared to what most of the superhero movies.
I'll let Rab go on this. I know we're gonna agree. So let's Rab say your thoughts on the rebuttal.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, right.
What? Okay, first off, you don't just throw all the fight into the trailer. You kind of try to build into what the movie's gonna be. And yeah, it's gonna be a little more talky. So was Civil War. Civil War is a little more talky than like the Avengers was, but it was good talky that moved the story forward, and it was interesting.
You mean Winter Soldier?
What did I say?
You said Civil War.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier was probably like the best comic book movie ever made.
I actually heard
It's one
that.
of
I
them.
heard that it was like one of the best. I did hear.
Oh
that.
yeah, I loved Winter Soldier.
Lots of talking, but talking that mattered and pushed the story forward in a positive way.
I'm also not a big Captain America fan. He's
I'm
cool.
not either.
I'm a Batman fan. I like Batman. I hate Superman. I don't know. I can't watch a Superman movie. I'm sorry. I can't. Superman's just way too boring for me for some reason.
So what are you gonna do this spring?
Yeah, you're half of you will hate the movie.
Well, you know who the fuck I'm cheering for. There you go.
It's go watch because I'm with you. I'm not a big Captain America fan. I never was when I read the comic books. The first Captain America movie is a waste of time. It's not
I have
bad.
seen that one. I have seen that one.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's okay, but doesn't really affect anything either. But watch the second one.
It drags
Winter
on
Soldier.
a bit. Too.
Well, the first one's good if you don't know anything about Captain America.
Yeah, and that's it. I guess it just doesn't really matter because all you need to know about him is he's a super soldier. He was from the World War II era, got like basically caught in ice, thawed out, and now he's around. And that's the first movie in a nutshell. And the second one, though, the second movie is easily one of the best superhero movies ever made. Like, because it doesn't feel like a superhero movie; it feels more like a spy thriller.
Right, exactly.
Oh, it's just. And then the big twist, which we won't say, but most people know, the big twist is in it that is like what? Because I never read the comics, so I didn't know. To that point, I didn't know that.
I mean,
that
you can
was,
say it if you want. It's been out long enough, so that's my own fault. If I don't.
I don't want to fuck it up for you though, because it's a cool moment when it happens. So go watch that. You'll like it. It's really good. I mean, really good. And apparently, that movie are making Civil War. So I'm completely on board. I'm super excited and happy for it. The trailer was great though. I mean, like how you couldn't get a boner for that end of the fight between the Winter Soldier and Cap and Iron Man.
Oh, when they were like beating the shit out of him, that was.
Yeah.
Pretty, I mean, that was fine. I like that.
I like to beat the shit out of part.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I like action, bro. No talking.
Less talking, more hitty.
I mean, for somebody that's not that much into it, I mean that
Southern wrestling.
that works for me. So
Okay. Well, so then the other thing we tried to talk about at the start of the show, but we got into a rant. The Batman Superman trailer, the second trailer came out, and it's like the polar opposite of what not to do that Civil War did right in their trailer. Or like Star Wars is another one that people are saying, well, look at how everything was done perfectly in the Star Wars trailer. The problem I have with Batman Superman is they literally just showed you the entire movie. I know exactly what's going to happen.
Furious. I was
oh my god, I was
furious
pissed.
when shit, now his name's escaping me.
Doomsday?
Yeah, I was furious when Doomsday showed up.
Yeah, because it's not really Doomsday. It's like a hybrid Doomsday because it's Zod. It's Zod fucked up.
It doesn't really matter to me that's not, quote unquote really Doomsday. I just didn't want to know. Shit.
Oh, you wanted it to be a surprise?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Because they did such a big job of making him a surprise in the first trailer.
First off, it looks like it's gonna be like, I'm guessing it's gonna happen like 2/3 of the way into the movie.
Yeah.
So what? So nothing before that. Fuck it.
And then showing the Batman and Superman have kissed and made up is horseshit. Because all they had to do was show that they're gonna fight. Because that's it. That's the selling point of the movie. Everybody is coming to see this movie to see them fight. Everybody knows they're gonna make up. Obviously, they're gonna make up. It's gonna happen. I'm not surprised by it. But to show in the trailer them being like buddy at the end.
It ends with a joke.
Yeah, it's called Batman versus Superman, and it ends with them having a casual joke with one another.
I thought she was with you. Winky, winky. I mean, the fuck, man.
Somebody made a good point I watched. They said the first trailer is for us, is for comic book fans. The second trailer is for mom and pop that go into the movies and don't really know what it is. They only know the previous movies, like the previous Nolan universe. So they made it casual. Like, it's casual as fuck. If you watch it, even like the opening, it's a conversation. So it's supposed to be very casual and comforting and just not intense. And
it was for me.
Oh god, it was for you because it was.
No,
bad.
it wasn't. You've been like, "Where's all the fight? So much talking."
So much talky.
Dude, it does start with a ton of talking.
It does.
And see, that's weird because I thought it was that was fine. So maybe I just didn't like the Civil War one. Maybe I don't know.
I think you're just more of a DC guy. Bomber, it's very easy to figure out when you don't like something versus something you like. You give it away so easily.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You used to watch WCW, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
How do you know that?
So you're always negative towards WWE and certain things.
I'm definitely not negative towards everything WWE.
No, but
No one said everything.
Oh, okay.
You can
That's
tell.
what.
Yeah,
that's
I can
what,
just tell.
That's what Zion's job is.
I can tell. You like right, Rab. You can tell when Bomber doesn't like something as a whole versus something he likes as a whole. He gives away little tells. And
What's funny, I can tell when you don't like something because you'll yell it. I can tell when he doesn't like something because he won't admit it.
All right, we know each other. It's like a relationship now.
You know what? I don't know what you're talking about. I refuse to admit everything. Damn. See, I did. Oh man, I did have something important to talk about with wrestling related, and I feel weird going back into it now.
Because you stop talking about it. You're making the same mistake that Peanut made. Just talk.
Bottom line, didn't like the trailer. I thought Civil War handled it properly, and like my interest died by 50%. I'll still see it, but it died by 50% for that movie.
Actually, there is a recut trailer. Someone within hours recut the trailer, just using the footage from the trailer, which makes the trailer better.
Oh, I gotta go see that right now. Okay.
I will drop it into the chat.
Yeah, please
you
do.
You can put it right here in the comments section. Pretend I'm pointing down. And, I'll throw that out there.
That's it. That's my final thoughts on that.
Yeah. I don't know. 3 minutes seems a little long for a trailer, but when does that come out? Is it beginning of 2016?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I mean, it's close.
It's in March. No, not March. It's in
May, I think.
Yeah, May.
May, so the 5th. Okay. It didn't look like the worst to me, but I don't know. I'll still see it. So.
Bad flag. What's your wrestling thing?
Are you sure? You sure you don't want to bring up anything else?
It's a wrestling podcast.
I know. That's why I feel weird. But, I mean, anyway, we were going to talk a little bit about NXT. We said we were going to bring that up on this show. And I did want to talk about Sami Callihan, Solomon Crowe, being released from or leaving. I don't know how that which way
he requested his release.
Yes, and he is now no longer in NXT. And
he wasn't very good. I mean, he's awesome on the indie scene. I'm a huge fan of him on the indie scene. As Sami Callihan, his PWG stuff is actually how I was introduced to him. But I know you know him because he's big in CCW and whatnot.
Yeah, I had a picture I was waiting to show you guys. If you look in the chat, I know people at home will be able to see it. But it shows. I'll describe it to you. It shows a picture of Sami Callihan and it says Sami Callihan returns home. CZW Cage of Death, December 12th.
I mean, he's going to make more money. I assume that's what it came down to was because I know the NXT guys aren't paid very well unless they're the names. Yeah. So like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn are paid probably much better because they were names when they came in. But he was not really a name because he's famous for independent wrestling fans, but nobody beyond that would really know who he is. So I'm sure he wasn't making very much. They weren't really doing anything with him, and honestly, he just wasn't really impressive at all. He kind of was a fart in the dark. It didn't really work. He didn't
Look at
click.
you rhyming. Look at you rhyming.
He didn't click. I didn't like him, and that surprises me because I like him so much on the indie scene, but he just did not shine in the WWE setting at all. So if it works for him, it's very cool.
He couldn't capture the crowd. The crowd didn't like him.
I tried to find matches with him in NXT. I only got to watch one match of his, and it was against that I can't think of his name, but he's like the hippie looking dude. He comes out with like signs and stuff.
CJ Parker.
There you go. Yeah.
He's been gone for a while. He's not even around anymore.
Him. It was Solomon's like debut. So, but after, I think it was during his little hacker thing or something. But I couldn't find any matches of his.
They threw him out there a bunch of times after that. The crowd didn't like him. Yeah. They just didn't get behind him, and the NXT crowd could kill you that way.
But it's interesting how he was the one that asked for his release. So.
Yeah, I mean, good for him.
Well, I think it became clear to him that he wasn't really going to go anywhere there, and I mean, if you're not going to go anywhere in NXT, then you're definitely not going to go up to WWE, and you're not going to make any money.
Yeah, and I know he was probably making a killer on the Indies because he was one of the top indie guys.
Yeah, I mean PWG was paying him a shitload to be there, so I imagine he's going to be making probably double, if not triple.
Yeah, what he was making before. Yeah.
Yeah, in NXT, because NXT they don't even pay them bonuses for the pay-per-views, so it's like, yeah, you're better off if maybe what he can do is he can rebuild himself, kind of take some time to figure out a new character direction, and I wouldn't be surprised if in 5 years they bring him back and try it again, because I mean they brought back several people like that for NXT, guys that just didn't work out right away.
They've done that a lot recently.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if he came back. He just definitely needs to find something. I think maybe he had that hacker character planned, and it fell apart on him, and then he had nothing after that.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope he didn't plan that, because that was.
I imagine he did, because he debuted weird. Like it. So I imagine he came up with it. I actually thought it was fine.
He fucked up with that. Yeah, I watched some of his vignettes and stuff. It looked super cheesy, super corny.
Yeah, but that's
I thought it was interesting.
Right, yeah, I thought it was different. It made him stand out, and instead of him just hitting the microphone on his head, yelling "Crow," not good. Yeah, you don't even have much to say about it, Bomber. That's how interesting he was.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to see many of his stuff. I was disappointed. He was never featured on any of the pay-per-view. I guess because he wasn't getting over, but I don't know. I'm happy to see that he's going to be back in CZW, but. I mean, that's just me being.
You and 20 people are really happy.
Hey, that's me being selfish.
20 people are really happy.
20 of us are going to get him paid more than he was getting paid over there.
He's going to pop that crowd of 20 people so hard.
You guys are such dicks. God damn.
Well, I mean, to point out how little they make, there was this. I don't know if you guys know who Blue Pants is.
Yeah.
No idea.
Right. She's like a jobber in NXT.
Okay.
Yeah,
she's like a female jobber who goes by the name of Blue Pants. Apparently, she had a lot of heat on her in the back because she's just a jobber in NXT. She's got like the same kind of deal that like Rhino has, where like she can just show up and job in a couple matches, but then keep doing the indie scene. And apparently, she was getting heat on her because she was able to make more money off NXT than the people who were actually in NXT. Because she could turn NXT into like indie appearances and sell like Blue Pants merchandise, while the girls who are actually on NXT couldn't do anything but be on NXT.
Interesting.
Which is like a shitty reason to get heat on yourself, because apparently she's supposed to be like a nice person. Like a lot of people like her, but like she got heat on her because she was making more money because she was smart.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. But
well, yeah, because she was smart enough to like allow herself to be a jobber.
Yeah,
to like job at NXT.
Yeah, yeah. Why is that? Why does that gain you heat backstage?
Yeah,
like,
that
just
wouldn't.
Because people are jealous. It's really dumb. I don't get it. She just came back though, didn't she?
Yeah, she was on the last episode. It was great.
I'm gonna look up this, see what she looks like. I don't know.
Yeah, she's famous for doing cosplay. I wish she would do it in WWE,
just
but
Blue Pants.
They just want her as a jobber. But on the indie scene,
they call her Blue
every
Pants.
match she has a new cosplay outfit. So she does like Freddy Krueger. She's done even like Neo from the Matrix. Like sometimes she'll do very obscure and sometimes she'll do very in stuff. Her newest one is she's Blue Pants on some indie appearances, but she dresses as the Pip-Boy outfit, like the Vault outfit from Fallout.
Yeah, I saw that.
She's great. She's so much fun. I wish that she was more local over here so I could actually see her at an indie show, but she lives over there.
Oh yeah, I see her dressed up as Chun-Li for him on Street.
Yeah, she seems great. It's funny though. I imagine then Samoa Joe probably makes a shitload of money because he does appearances outside of NXT still on a regular basis as well. Same with like Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. So they're probably doing really well for themselves, and they just get to wrestle for WWE on a part-time basis.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah,
I think that's a great positive note to start wrapping things up on. Do we still do plugs?
Oh, we're supposed to do this at the beginning, motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
I
like how you're coming on.
That, but I didn't know.
Do we still do plugs?
But this motherfucker didn't at least listen to the last podcast, so he doesn't know that.
He doesn't know. At least he asked.
Rab,
hey,
you wouldn't listen to it either if you weren't on.
That's true.
But I am on. You should
Rab,
show up
you
more
wouldn't
often.
listen either if you.
You're barely on this one.
Yeah, you were. You had an intro, a middle thought, and you're closing it out.
I didn't have a middle thought. I had a middle transition.
He did have a transition.
Terrible
That was
transition.
transition.
In closing notes, everyone watch NXT, and
We
that
call
way,
that
you
segment.
can watch NXT London.
Yeah, I will definitely watch that one for
Is
sure.
that the-
I mean,
That's pay-per-view
I
coming up, right?
definitely enjoy watching NXT versus watching Raw. Like,
Yep. Yeah, it's not a struggle. It's not a fight in willpower to keep watching.
I watch it for fun, and I can even watch like not all the matches are great, but at least the crowd's having fun, and it's nice.
It's very nice.
And before we do close, I just want to throw out just a question unrelated. Brock Lesnar. When does anybody know when he's supposed to be coming back?
I don't really care. I don't care. I'm tired of
That guy.
He's wrestling.
part-time guys.
He's wrestling Ronda Rousey. I believe.
Yeah. Tired of the part-time guys. I just don't get the it doesn't make sense to me anymore. To me it's hurting their product more than it's helping their product now.
I liked it. I liked it when he was champion.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna go
But-
towards. Was I would like to see him come back and be champion again.
I don't know if you can
I don't know.
catch that.
They
magic
can't do it again.
Yeah,
Yeah, he can. Comes back.
It was
wins
really
the fucking.
it
wins
was
the Royal
really
Rumble.
cool when it happened, but
You can't capture that magic again.
yeah,
He's not a monster anymore. I mean, he's still going to be a beast, but he's not the same as he was when he was champion.
I mean,
But
yeah.
it's,
There's nothing compared to just going and
he won this
destroying
last
the
match.
Undertaker at WrestleMania and then like becoming unbeaten. Yeah, but it's just not the same.
Well, of course,
Yeah.
it's not the same, but he's still.
They
tougher
need
than-
to stop putting emphasis on people that are going to be there 1/3 of the time and then being very confused as to why nobody that's there all the time isn't over. That's why. Brock Lesnar is super, super awesome, guys. You should really get behind him. He's gone. Oh, fuck. What do we do now? Because that's what it's turned into with all these part-time guys. Like Wyatt losing to Undertaker is the biggest goddamn fucking stupid bullshit move.
It was his 25th anniversary, man.
It doesn't matter. Who's gonna remember that? Dude, what did Undertaker do for his 20th?
If it would have been a little bit better atmosphere, people would have remembered it. But
What? No. What did Undertaker do for his 20th anniversary at Survivor Series, Bomber?
his 20th, I have no.
Yeah, that's a huge milestone. What did he do?
I could not tell you.
Yeah, because nobody's gonna fucking remember in 5 years what he did here on that night. It won't
I
matter.
really forgot what he did.
He tombstoned
this last-
Luke Harper.
Yeah,
he
it doesn't
pinned
even.
Luke Harper.
It doesn't even matter. Who gives a fuck if it's his anniversary? Wyatt is hurting. He's dying. He's on life support, and they just continue to bury him. It doesn't make sense. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating.
Don't worry, he'll beat the Dudley Boys.
Speaking of that, shut the fuck. Speaking of that match,
He's in a feud with the Dudley Boys now. I mean, shit.
That's so.
Don't tell me to shut the fuck up. That's who he's in a feud with.
It's true. It's so awful. It's so awful. They have this top tier heel with a faction who could help protect him on the way to the title. But instead, they bury Wyatt and they push Sheamus as that heel. With a
by the way,
faction that doesn't make any sense.
Oh no, the faction's fantastic. I love the League of Nations.
No,
It's
not as a main event faction though.
It's great.
As a mid card faction, great.
It might be. Well, no, there's no such thing as a main event of a faction of nothing but main
Yes,
eventers.
the Wyatts are a main event faction.
No,
I'm not
it's
saying
one
all of them. I'm
guy
saying-
who
But
has
that's what
been
I'm saying,
just
though.
as treated badly as everyone else. And no, Sheamus has been treated better than Bray Wyatt. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but beforehand, as a faction, though, I think that they work a lot better as a potential title protection main event faction. Like, what the fuck are they? At least they're the Wyatts. They're actually a team. They won't just put together last minute to try and make Sheamus look credible. Like, this is already a team that was around. And again, if they had handled him better, he could easily be the top guy in the company in terms of being a heel. But instead, they're pushing the mid-card guys. Like, it just doesn't make fucking sense.
they're upper card guys. They're not mid card guys.
Oh,
Except
God,
for Del
hate
Rio, I
them.
don't like him.
Well, thanks, Bomber.
Sorry,
Thanks,
I know. I'm
Bomber.
sorry.
Now
I
we're
just
ending
wanted
on a
to,
negative note.
I just wanted to throw. I just wanted to throw in a Brock Lesnar question, and I didn't think it was going to spin out of control.
No, but I mean, like, that's something I wanted to talk about.
Nope,
'Cause
you
I'm
ruined
sick of
it.
the part-timers. I'm sick of the part-time guys. I like seeing them, but I hate when they become the full focus of shows because it's a temporary increase in views for them. It's so WCW. It's like, well, let's throw Hogan and Goldberg on Nitro and not build it into something more long-term. And you got a huge increase temporarily, but then you fucked yourself because now nobody cares about anything. And it's like with Lesnar, yeah, he's going to come in for 2 months or a month or whatever, and it's going to be interesting. But then when he leaves for 6 months, you fucked yourself because nobody cares about anything else when he's gone. True. They just want to watch when he comes back.
I never like to hope for someone's injury, and I'm not hoping for his injury, but if Roman Reigns got injured right now, it'd be the best thing to happen to the
Oh my God, you're an asshole.
No, but what would
the truth. They have to figure something out.
Yeah, something creative instead of just, well, let's throw more people at Reigns.
I don't want him to get injured. I don't wish injury on anyone. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if he did, it'd be the best thing. It's like when Stone Cold got injured. When Stone Cold got injured, they had to figure something out, and that thing was The Rock.
Yeah, it did. It gave him a chance. Like, I feel like Ambrose would probably finally get the call up as the new guy, because even though he's getting much better pops than Reigns, they're never going to do anything with him because Reigns is the guy. And
Rock Austin only got to be what Rock Austin was because Austin got hurt and The Rock had to step up.
Yep, 100%.
And then Austin came back, and then you had 2 top tier guys.
I agree.
And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I want him injured. I'm like, I hope he trips down the stairs or anything.
I think it's safe to say
it'd be the best thing to happen to them right now because they're stuck. They're just stuck.
I agree, but I think it's safe to say there's nobody on that roster right now that has the caliber of talent of Stone Cold or The Rock.
Yeah, but again, that's not I don't think that's the fault of the people. Like, imagine.
Oh, it's definitely not the fault of the people.
No, but imagine Rock and Austin in this day and age under this type of booking. It would never work. You would have one of them as the top guy, and then the other guy would just dwindle in mid-card hell until they give him like a miscellaneous push, and then he'd just go back to mid-card hell. They don't build main event stars anymore like they used to. They used to let people shine on their own and kind of get over on their own. But now if you do that, you become Daniel Bryan, and they say, fuck you.
Just everyone watch NXT. It's exactly what you guys want.
Yeah.
Everyone just being themselves and having fun.
And that's what pissed me off. They had Daniel Bryan chants at the Survivor Series during the Undertaker match. When they double choke slammed Braun Strowman through the table, the crowd, like, you took to the crowd and everybody's going, yes, yes. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like,
It's kind of a universal chant now, though.
Yeah, I would say they got appropriate. What is not a Stone Cold Steve Austin chant? What is just a thing people say?
And that's
on the Yes is turning into that, which is not great for Daniel Bryan, but it is what it is.
But I have severe doubts that he'll make it back anyway. And if he is coming back, he's totally coming back at the Rumble, and he's totally going to get thrown out by Reigns, and it's going to be amazing.
I hope so.
I don't.
I was really hoping. I was hoping you were building up to a positive moment there, and I could be like, well, that's a positive note to end on, but nope, that didn't happen.
No one even noticed that was a negative
moment
until you're like, oh my God. Like fucking Debbie Downer over here in the corner. You're also sad. I mean, Jesus Christ.
But this will fix everything. Peanut, this is the way we're going to end the
shows.
We're
wrapping.
Hold on. Shut up, Peanut. We're gonna end this on a positive note. Peanut, give us your inspirational moment of smiles right now. That every show's going to end with you telling us something very happy that's going to make us smile. Go.
You just put me on the spot. I can't do this. You know me
that
like
was
this.
Peanuts. Moment of smiles. Peanuts.
I'm smiling too.
That was Peanuts. Moment of smiles.
I love it. Thank you, Peanut. I feel much better about my life.
You're a good man.
Thank you, buddy.
Sorry to fuck up.
That's why I'm here. That's
Sorry
why
to
I'm
fuck
here.
up your
But
Indian.
all right, thank you for tuning in to episode number 19. I am your host, Peanut. We'll see you in 2 weeks.